Hello friends, welcome to YouTube channel Weighing Engineer. So today we are going to take a look on the basic concept of earthquake and its consequences on our design of simple structural building. Okay, so our agenda will be what is earthquake, types of earthquake, how earthquake occurs, causes and effect of earthquake, seismic waves, seismic performance and design, improving earthquake resistance of the minor building, shear walls, advantages of shear walls, earthquake resistant structural techniques which are base isolation methods, energy dissipation device, seismic dampers, keeping building up with thrust, and finally we will take a look on conclusion. So what is earthquake? So they are natural disasters of a generally unpredictable nature. It is the shaking of the earth due to the movement of the earth crust. A sudden rapid shaking of the earth caused by the breaking and shifting of rocks beneath the earth surface. Okay. So the types of earthquake are interplate and intraplates. So between the plates will be interplate and inside a single plate will be intraplate. In both types of earthquake, during the earthquake at the fault strike slip means there is horizontal and a vertical movement which is deep slip. So how earthquake occurs? Because of earth rotation and other energy factors, different shells or the rock layers constantly move or slip past each other. So the differential continental mass fragments of lesser densities float and move, overriding the denser rock layers. This causes earthquake. Okay. So the causes of earthquake are causally related to compression or tensional stresses inside the plates. The volcanic eruptions, rock falls, landslides, explosions can also cause earthquake. Okay, so earthquake can be caused whether by natural or by man-made effects. So the fault. Okay, a fault is nothing but a crack or a weak zone inside the earth. When two blocks of rocks or two plates rub against each other along a fault, they don't just slide smoothly. As the tectonic forces continue to prevail, the plate margins exhibits a deformation as seen in the terms of bending, compression, tension, and friction. The rocks eventually break, giving rise to earthquake because of a building of stresses beyond the limiting elastic strength of rocks. Okay, so we can see the diagrams of faults. Okay, this type of faults they get driven off to each other and causes uneven deformation and generates the effect of earthquake. Okay, so seismic waves, there are two types: body waves, which are p waves, which travel through solids and fluids, and s wave travel through solids. Surface wave are the slowest and it is the most damaging. So the effect of earthquake are ground motion, landslides, ground displacement, liquefaction, tsunamis, and aftershocks. So the basic theory is earthquake do not kill people, but the improperly designed structure do. So here we will take a look on proper design specification. So the seismic performance, the ability of structure to sustain its function with the safety and serviceability at earthquake. So the seismic design considers procedure, principles and criteria to design a structure subject to earthquake exposure, so improving earthquake resistance of a minor building. So the size of building, simpler the plan, better the performance, and for construction of material, RCC preferable than PCC, means a mixture of concrete and RCC reinforcement. Okay, so song column and weak beam, it is the basic concept for any structural design. Horizontal band necessary throughout the masonry. We can see here it is the example of horizontal band provided in a building which is safe in earthquake during the Latur earthquake, and the another structure of upper, it is doesn't have any horizontal lintel band, so it get deformed due to earthquake. So next one, avoid soft story container walls in the ground story. Okay, a soft story will be one which doesn't have enough walls. Okay, so we can see here the ground floor of this building get damaged as compared to upper floors because there is lesser walls. Okay, so next one will be configuration of buildings. Okay, here in the first diagram we can see that the buildings is tall where it is long or it is too width. These are unusual configuration of buildings. So next one is in a slopy ground in hanging or fastened columns where there is a overhanging portion from the columns, or the buildings which are not filled with walls, which are soft story at the bottom and upper floor is totally filled. Okay, so these are uh, sudden deviation in the load transfer path along the height load to poor performance buildings. And the third one is unsymmetrical buildings. So these are all the poor configuration of buildings. So the quality control is also important. Special care is needed in the construction to ensure that the element meant to be ductile are indeed provided the features that give adequate ductility. Thus, strict adherence to the prescribed standard of the construction material and the construction process is essential in the assuring an earthquake resistant building. Okay. The next one is element of good quality control are regular testing of construction material at the qualified laboratories, periodic training of the workmen at professional training house, and on-site evaluation of the technical work. So the shear walls, a vertical oriented wide beams. It carries a seismic loads down to the bottom of the foundation. It provides a large strength and the stiffness to the building. Thickness generally varies from 150 to 400 mm in the high-rise building. So we can see here the shear wall. It is provided at regular intervals in the buildings to provide a better strength against earthquakes. So should be symmetrical in the plan along the both axes. It should be open. The opening provided in the shear wall should be symmetrical, effective when the located along the exterior perimeter of the building. So as we see here, the shear wall provided along the outer periphery is more important and more useful for the earthquake resisting structure than unsymmetrical provided shear wall. Okay, unsymmetric location of the shear wall are not desirable and symmetrical location of the shear wall along the perimeter of the building is desirable. Okay, so we must take care of this. The next one is advantage of shear wall is efficient in terms of cost, effectiveness, and construction. Helps in minimizing the effect on the non-structural elements and which is glass walls. It said that we cannot afford to build a concrete buildings meant to resist severe earthquake without shear walls. Okay, so without shear walls we cannot totally minimize the effect of earthquake. Okay, so earthquake resistant structure techniques. So there are three techniques we use. Basics are base isolation method, energy dissipation device, and keeping building up thrust. Okay, so the base isolation method we can see in the image. We provided a base isolator for building, introduces flexibility to the structure. Building is rested on the flexible pads. We can see here flexible pads which are the base isolator. When the earthquake strikes, the building does not move and it is suitable for hard soil only. Okay, so here in the figure, the pads with the lead rubber bearings at the Bhuj district hospital. Okay, next one is the types of base isolator, which are the lead rubber bearing. Lead rubber bearings frequently used for the base isolation. It is made from the layer of rubber sandwiched together with the layer of steel. Very steep and strong in the vertical direction, flexible in the horizontal direction. Okay. The next one is spherical sliding isolation. So we can see in the diagram, it is used bearing pads that have curved surface and the low friction material similar to Teflon. During the earthquake, the building is free to slide both horizontal and vertical. it will return to its original position after the ground shaking stops. Okay, one is a in in India, we use base isolation technique was first demonstrated after 1993 Killari earthquake. Two single-story buildings were built with a rubber base isolator resisting on hard ground. The four-story Bhuj Hospital building was built with the base isolation technique after 2001 Bhuj earthquake. Okay, so we can see the base isolators in the diagram also. Next one is energy dissipation and device, which is also called seismic dampers. Okay, so here these are used in the place of structural elements such as diagonal braces, act as a hydraulic shock absorber in the cars. When the seismic energy is transmitted through them, dampers absorb the part of it and thus damp the motion of the building. Okay, there are the part which is plaster, rod, cylinder, compressible, silicon fluid, and the accumulating house. Okay, the next types of seismic dampers: viscous dampers. So, energy is absorbed by the silicon-based fluid passing between the piston cylinder arrangement. Next is friction dampers. Energy is absorbed by the surface with the friction between them rubbing against each other. Yielding dampers is energy absorbed by the metallic components that yield, and the viscoelastic dampers, the energy is absorbed by utilizing the controlled sharing of solids. Okay, so these are the different types. Next is keeping the building upright. So recently discovered technique of the Japan, it has found to survive even the extreme technique. Okay, so what is this? In this concept is when the earthquake strikes the system, it dissipates the energy in the building cores and exterior. The frames are free to rock up and down within the fittings fixed at the bases. Okay, so the IS code which are used for designing of the reinforced concrete building with seismic loads are IS 1893 Part 1, IS 4326 1993. Okay, for the practice of earthquake resistant design and construction of building, second revision. IS 13827 1993, Indian Standard Guidelines for improving the earthquake resistance of the earthen buildings. IS 13828 1993, Indian Standard Guideline for improving earthquake resistance of low strength masonry building, and IS 13920 1993 for practice of ductile detailing of the reinforced concrete structure subject to seismic forces. Okay. So the conclusion are, while earthquakes are inevitable, each earthquake need not be converted into a disaster, as what comes in between is a culture of safety and prevention. So let us work together to build a culture of prevention. Okay, thank you friends, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please share with your friends. Okay, thank you.